All right. Welcome back to Whatever Garage. Today, we're going to make a list of the next couple of things we need to do on this Corvette. What color should we start with? I like blue, hate orange. We'll go with blue. All right. So which Corvette is this? This is the 81. Oh, my handwriting sucks. All right, 81 Corvette. Now, that's a weird noise. I think there's dinosaurs loose in the neighborhood. Okay, while I was under there today, finishing up tonight's video, I noticed the transmission lines going into the radiator, the rubber parts were leaking, so we need to replace those. So number one, replace. Trans cooler lines, parentheses, rubber. That'll tell me what it is. All right, while we were also under there, we noticed that the steering box is leaking underneath. Not sure if I can get that fixed or if we have to replace the steering box, but we'll figure this out. Number two, steering box leak. All right, third, from the front of the oil pan is leaking. Now, it looks like it's the oil pan. I don't believe it's the front crankshaft seal. So we're gonna go with the oil pan gasket. So number three, oil pan gasket. Okay, now, the last one, which is the one I really hate and it upset me. I was underneath there looking at the starter and noticed there was some orange water on the starter. Orange water? What is that? That's coolant. Well, orangish green, whatever, you know, it's probably rust. But I looked at there's a freeze plug right behind the starter, and I was like, it's been freezing cold lately. Maybe it was pushing it out. Wiped it off. No, the water's coming above it. Head gasket. So number four, leaky head gasket. And we should probably specify which side. And that would be, we need another pin. Use brown. That would be passenger side. All right. We also have an exhaust leak. Whoever did the exhaust was a beginning welder, and they were practicing on this exhaust because it looks like shite. So, number five. First, we're going to need to get gasket, header and collector gaskets. You know what I mean? Those gasket things. What do we call them? Collector gaskets. That's what we'll call them. And in between now and then, in case I forget, we'll put exhaust. And then some of the little spots I can tack up with my welder. So, 5 things right now. Replace the trans cooler lines, steering box leak, oil pan gasket, head gasket, and collector gasket. That's a lot of gaskets. And the other thing is I want to wire up the electric fan. So I have a switch inside because it does nothing now. Like I've said many times before, this car came with a different engine that had another wiring harness that was connected to that fan, or that fan's connected to the AC. Either way, there's a junction where I can disconnect it and hook up my own connection, run it to the inside, and I can have it as extra, especially in the summertime around here, because I'm gonna get that air conditioning working before summer, because you can't drive a hot rod without air conditioning around here. You can, but you're gonna sweat. All right, I think that's enough for now. So next, I want to get the block number off of this block so I can order the right gasket this time. I may already have it from ordering the wrong gasket from the other Corvette, but I got to double check. Oh yeah, let's get started. And then of course, while I was under there looking for a number, we found distributor needs a new gasket and possibly the oil sender, oil pressure sender needs to be resealed. What are you doing?
Mom is out here.
Okay. Making a list of stuff I noticed today.
Okay.
Fun stuff. That's my list. That's my interruption.
What up?
All right, before we get started on anything else, I need to take measurements so I can seal up my doors. I want to put something on the other side. See where all that light is? It's just nothing but cold air rushing in. I brought the dirtiest ladder I have. Don't hit the flat or the block. Oh, well, see, there you go. That'll work. And need measuring tape. All right, I'm glad I did not order that thing already because I would have had the wrong measurements. They're way too big. This one does not take a big one. It's only got it is 4 inches. 4 inches, but that's from the wall to the opening, and then it's got 2 1/4 inch frame. So really, I'm only 1 3/4 inches of brush. So that small one I saw, I can order. Now, how much of a span do I need? I would have to figure out a way, because from frame to frame, it's 1 inch below 4 feet, or 5 feet, okay? But the opening still continues for another 2.5 inches in front of this. So 2.5, so that's 5 inches more. I see you, Sasha. She's out here wondering what I'm doing. All right, so that's a total of 10 foot 3 inches. Okay, so I was right when I made that measurement over there. So 10 foot 3 inches of opening that we need to cover. We can do that. I happened to find this. This is what was left over from my attic. And it's a roll of fiberglass, but it does not have, what do you call it? The backing to it. But it's all I have, so I'm gonna use it. I'll use whatever little bits I can get to put up. Now, not to mention I should be wearing a mask, huh?
Hey, did I mention it's cold in here? I know this is overkill, but I like my lungs. I'm not sure I like that. I'm really not. What do you think?
All right, this is my temporary fix. A lot of duct tape. Now, obviously I can't do it for the whole building, but I was curious to see if I could get that to work. Now, once I lay wood on this to seal it up how I want, you know, that thin finishing wood like I was talking about, you know, panels, I think it'll be okay. But until then, it's gotta stay like that. Stay there. All right. That's not gonna make any difference right now. None at all, but it's a start. All right, going back to our list we made yesterday for the 81 Corvette here. We have replaced trans cooler lines, they're rubber. That we can do right now. I have an oil pan gasket, I can do that. Steering box leak, I still need to research to see if I can fix that, if I gotta get a new steering box. Head gasket, not in a second. Passenger, collector gaskets. I can do that. Wire up electric fan, I can do that. Distributor gasket and oil pressure cylinder leak. Okay, these two are gonna go along with the head gasket. So if I have to do a head gasket, I gotta pull the intake manifold. And if I pull the intake manifold, I gotta clean everything. So that's when these guys will get done. So if I clean them now, I still gotta pull this. So it sort of defeats the purpose of doing this now. I'm gonna do all that at once since I have to do it. So collector gaskets, wired electric fan, and oil pan gasket, and replace rubber lines. Yay! Alright, we're just gonna jump straight to the electric fan. Alright, I showed in previous videos the electric fan that's right here that spins, and I found out that this is the connector for it. Right here. There we go. Alright, now, gotta figure out which ones, what color are they? Looks like pink and blue, so I'm gonna assume pink is going to be the hot wire, the power wire, 12 volt wire, 12 volt wire, and the other's gonna be the ground. So, here I have a jumper for the ground. All right, there's your ground. Find a good spot. I'm gonna ground it right here. Now, should be power going to there. If I'm right, there should be no power right now, correct? Should be no power. Well, it's not doing anything, so apparently. We should have power now. Nah and duh. All right, I couldn't see anything down there, so when in doubt, take the fan out. And let me show you. See that? Electric fan. So, those are the wires that I was working on. See them? Oh, wait a minute. There you go. See them? Same color as the ones that were right here in that little connector. So now I think I'm just going to take the fan off. Yeah, I'm going to take the fan off and test it. Well, as you can see, she's back up in the air. I was going to take just the fan off, but you can't take the fan off without taking the shroud off. So I'm in the middle of taking the shroud off. All right, we got the electric fan out, and it looks like there's a thermal switch right here. So I'm going to get online and see if I can't find a replacement, maybe, and see if that might be our problem. And we'll do a little research before I do all that. Okay? Okay. All right, you can see my handiwork here. I have taken apart the motor, and it is dead. Dead as a doornail. I've tried jumping it, nothing works. So, you can actually still order these on Rock Auto for about 30 bucks. So guess who has one on order? Yeah, me. All right, remember at the beginning I was bitching about the braided lines? This is the fuel line, the vacuum lines. I hate them all. So, we're gonna start with the fuel line. Now I guess I should correct myself in saying I don't hate all braided lines. I hate these because look at the ends. See how they're not capped off? And the first thing before I started unscrewing it, when I grabbed it, it stuck me in the tip of my finger. So that's why I hate these braided lines like this. All right, quick and simple. Replace the fuel line. Now I didn't prick my fingers anymore. All right, now we're going to get the coolant or the transmission cooler lines. All right, under here, we're underneath the car. Here's the radiator. If you look right here, that hose you can see is a little wet. This was not on very tight, but either way, we're gonna replace the hose. It just sucks getting up in here. There is no room to move. This one's gonna be really difficult because I can't reach the connector up top. But we will do what we can. All right, we got the two hoses off. That took forever. There's no room to work in there. Look at these though. They are a little dry rotted. Not to mention, well, this one I had to cut open. It went this far over the pipe. Okay, that's like width of my finger. Didn't need to be that far. This end wasn't so bad, but still brittle, hard. I've got at least one replacement already. I am not sure if I have enough to do the other one, or even the right size. I have enough of this one, but it's smaller. I'll have to test it and see if it'll fit. All right, that was a complete and total cluster, but I got it done. All right, so where are we at? Replace braided fuel line. Yes, we did that. Replace trans-cooler lines. There we go. Done. All right. Still got to research that. Still got to order that. Or no, I have that. Got to order that. Yeah. All right, so we got a little bit done today. So this is going to be the start of not a long project. The longest part's going to be waiting for parts. I got to wait for a whole head gasket set. Intake gaskets, timing gaskets, all that crap. Whenever they get here, then we get started on that. In the meantime, we'll do the other little piddly things until I can get to that. All right, so this has been Whatever Garage, out.